Welcome to the CAD Builder video tutorial series. In this video, we will take a look at how to create a composite joint. This is used when you need to stack multiple connections on the same joint. We typically see a combination of dado joints, hole boring joints, and/or dowel joints, so we will review some examples of these and how to go about applying those to your cabinet construction. Let's open a new drawing and select the construction module from the main menu, and then select the last section titled Construction Connection. Go ahead and select the Create icon at the bottom of the list in order to create a new composite joint. In the window, select the drop-down menu and scroll down till you can select the Composite Joint template. Then in the top text field, we will name this one Dados and Pre-Drilling Joint, and then hit Create in order to create your own connection. At the bottom of the list, go ahead and open our new joint, Dados and Pre-Drilling Joint, and then in the center of the screen, we'll select Connection 1 to set that to a dado joint. On the far right, we'll select the three dots in order to open the Connection Selector window. Let's select Dado Connection on the left side, and then Half-Blind Dado in the center list, and then click on the Select button at the bottom. Now we'll apply Connection 2 by again selecting the three little dots on the right-hand side to open our connection dialog box. For this example today, I'll select the boring connection on the left side and the conformate screw option in the middle. Then select again at the bottom, so this is now one connection. In order to apply this new composite joint, we need to set it in our construction method. So we'll open that up, and I'll select one of my frameless methods here, and then open the Joints folder. I'll select the bottom joints, bottom to unfinished side, and keep the option on the right to extend side to floor. Once again, we need to open up our connection dialog using the three little dots on the right. For the categories, select Composite Connection, and then we'll select our newly created joint, Dados and Pre-Drilling Joint, and hit Select at the bottom to apply. Now we'll take a look at this in one of our cabinets by opening the wireframe editor. Be sure to have your Show Processing option turned on, and then we will see that dado joint here at the bottom. On the outside, you can see the screw holes here, allowing you to tighten that joint. If I hide the right side, you can see this a bit more clearly, as well as that dado joint if I hide the door and drawer. For the next example, we'll go back to our connections, and with that dados and pre-drilling joint still selected, we'll create a copy of that joint and change it to dowels and pre-drilling joint. I'll select connection 1 and change it from a half-blind dado to a dowel connection, and then we'll leave the connection 2 with the same conformate screw connection. Again, we will need to apply this new composite joint to our construction method. I'll select that same frameless method and select Joints, bottom to unfinished side, and then on the right, click on the three dots and select Composite Connection. And then we'll select the new dowel and pre-drilling joint and hit Select at the bottom to apply. Back in the wireframe editor, again we'll make sure that Show Processing is on, and we can now see the application of the dowels and screws in this particular cabinet. Here is another view with the right side hidden to get a better image. This new joint can also be applied to the cabinet in other locations as well. Now let's say for your cabinets, you require a more complex pattern of dowels, a pattern that cannot be applied by using a single dowel joint. We can use this composite joint in order to stack multiple dowel joints or hole boring joints. We'll create a copy of our previous composite joint and title it Multiple Dowels Joint. For connection 1, we'll select Dowel Connection and Dowel Joint A. As you see in the settings here on the right, I have the dowel diameter set to 1/4 inch, the holes arrangement at front to rear, with the first hole at 1.5 inches, spacing between the holes at 4 inches, and the last hole minimum at 1.5 inches. For connection 2, I'll again select Dowel Connection and then Dowel Joint B. This joint also has the holes arrangement set to front to rear, but first hole is at 2.5 inches, spacing at 6 inches, and the last hole minimum at 2.5 inches. Next, I'll select my construction method and set the bottom joints to our new multiple dowels joint composite connection. Let's take a look at the wireframe editor view and see how it was applied to our cabinet. As you see, our first hole is at 1½ inches, which correlates to our dowel joint A, and the second hole is at 2½ inches, which is what we set for dowel joint B. Then we have a dowel every 4 inches for A and every 6 inches for B. For the last two holes, similar to the first ones, are at 1½ inches from the edge and 2½ inches from the edge. Now back to our connection constructions, you will see a list of all of the types of joints that you can use to create similar types of composite joints, including lamello cabaneo, lock dowel, rabbet joints, etc. You can utilize the composite joint option in order to apply the specific joint settings you need for your cabinet construction. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. To view additional video tutorials, please visit www.cabbuildersoftware.com/training.